Hello everyone, welcome back to my Season 8 rewrite of Game of Thrones. Episode 8, we only have 3 episodes left. Final episode, last episode 6 and 7 were all about closing the conflict between the North and Cersei. Episode 6, we had our battle at Winterfell. Episode 7 ends with the death of Cersei and Euron. Cersei is killed, partially by Arya, but actually finished off by Jaime, who in tears is forced to, kill her. That being said, a revolution has taken place in King's Landing. I think that was bound to happen at some point. Yet again, here we are, and our final episodes are all mainly centered around Winterfell, because we all know what is to come. That being said, here we are in episode 8, Farewell, which is the longest episode up until now. It's 74 minutes long. It's a very long episode. And yeah, let's just jump right into it. It starts at the outpost on the King's Road. Beric, Tormund and Podrick still hold watch, as they feel that the army of the dead can be upon them now at any moment. They clearly start to get nervous. In Winterfell, one of Varys' little birds arrive and informs him about what happened at King's Landing. He tells Jon, Daenerys and everyone else at a meeting that a revolution has occurred at King's Landing and that the Red Keep has fallen. This shocks everyone, especially Daenerys, since she has no enemies now to hold her away from taking the throne. Jon asks Varys if there is also any word from Arya, since she has been missing for weeks, but Varys tells him that there are none. Daenerys contemplates about leaving for King's Landing to take the throne, but Jon tries to stop her, telling her that she can't leave them when the Night King can attack them soon. She responds by saying that her birthright is in the palms of her hands, and she won't let him stop her, even if he is Targaryen. Sometime later, Arya arrives back and is met by Gendry. They both have a sweet moment. She goes to the War Council and tells them that she was there and that she is the one who killed Cersei. This surprises everyone, but she is thanked eventually. Daenerys promises her a great reward for defeating her enemies, but Arya makes clear that she doesn't want that. She goes outside and is met by the Hound, which shows that he is proud of her. Tyrion and Varys meet Daenerys and try to convince her that she must stay here and that the Iron Throne won't go away. She acts very stubborn, but she's also conflicted with her emotions. We see how the camp is being repaired and how all of the troops are being mobilized again under the command of Grey Worm, Davos and Brienne. Suddenly another rider is approaching. It appears to be Jaime, but he is refused entry. Some of the Stark soldiers try to attack him, but he is defended by Brienne. He eventually is let in and is taken to the main hall. Everyone is gathered here to decide what to do with him. Daenerys shows little happiness and even thinks about executing him. Jon, however, takes no sides. Jaime is defended by Brienne and Arya, who talk about all the good deeds that he has done. He's eventually pardoned. After the gathering, he and Tyrion have a reunion as everyone is preparing the castle for battle. Jaime tells him that Cersei is dead, and he's clearly upset by it, but Tyrion comforts him. Jon visits Daenerys again and begs her not to leave them in their hour of greatest need. After a discussion about Jon's heritage and how Daenerys fears for her position, Jon makes it clear that he doesn't have any interest in the throne and that he will always follow her. He eventually succeeds in persuading her. She says that she still loves him and that she wants things to be the way that they used to be. Jon says the same thing and tells her that no one needs to know. They kiss and hug each other. However, unaware to them, Varys has been listening to the conversation the entire time and immediately heads for Tyrion. At the outpost, Beric notices a huge snowstorm coming from the mountains in the distance. He informs Tormund, Podrick and the other soldiers that it's time. They all ready their horses and ride for Winterfell with great speed. In Winterfell, Jaime visits Brienne in the camp, and she tells him that she will be commanding the left flank of the castle. They have a little chat. Tyrion is told by Varys who Jon really is. He is clearly shocked, but orders Varys not to tell anyone else. Varys tells him that both Jon and Daenerys don't care about his heritage. Tyrion thinks that this is the best for them. Jaime finds Bronn in the camp, and they also have a reunion. Jaime also then visits Bran and begs to be forgiven. Bran responds by saying that Jaime has suffered enough and that his debt has been repaid. Jaime is grateful for this. Suddenly, Tormund, Beric, Podrick and all the other riders arrive back at Winterfell. They are met by Jon and have a short reunion. But they all know what their arrival really means. Jon summons a war council. Jon, Daenerys, Tyrion, Bran, Jaime, Brienne, Theon, Tormund, Varys, Arya, Davos, Grey Worm, and several other commanders. They all meet at the war council, where the battle strategy gets decided. The Unsullied will form the front line around Winterfell, and the Dothraki will be used as backup. The catapults are placed as close to the walls as possible. The left flank will be under command of Brienne, the center under command by Grey Worm, and the right under command of Theon. Jon and Daenerys will stay with the dragons and provide air support when the time has come. Bronn will be in charge of guarding the castle gates in case the troops need to retreat. Davos will be in charge on the castle walls. They know that they should try to lure the Night King into the open since he always gets protected. Bran still shows the mark that he has on his arm and suggests that they use him as bait in the Godswood. The Night King will come for him, since he has killed all the three-eyed ravens before, and that he will do it again right now. Jaime suggests that he will be in charge of defending the Godswood to repay him for his death. Everyone who is unable to fight will be kept inside the castle. Jon asks how long they have until the Night King arrives, to which Beric answers that they only have a couple of hours. That night, everyone tries to spend their so-called last hours as well as they can. Arya is practicing with her bow and arrow, as she is visited by Gendry. They have a sweet moment together, and they eventually express their love by kissing each other. Jon and Daenerys are in their chambers, and they also have a romantic moment. Jon still slightly grieves over the loss of Sansa, as Daenerys does over the loss of Jorah. They comfort each other and show that despite everything, they still love each other. Bran sits alone in the Godswood and again has a vision. He is visited by Sam, who asks him what he saw in his vision. Bran responds by saying that now he also knows what he himself has to do. Sam leaves, as we see how Jaime goes to Bran, again asks for forgiveness and tells him that he will try his best to protect him. Before he leaves, Bran officially forgives him and says that he is a good man. Soldiers board up the windows of the castle to make sure that the dead can't get inside. Varys is in his chambers and is visited by Tyrion. They have a conversation in which Varys actually admits that he is scared. Tyrion takes out a jug of wine and they both have a drink. The Hound sits on the castle walls and is enjoying the peace and quiet. He is joined by Beric, with who he has a comedic chat, but they eventually do show some level of respect for each other. Sam takes Gilly and little Sam to his chambers and makes sure that they have everything they need. Gilly asks Sam to stay with them, but he knows he can't. He does decide to stay with them until the battle begins. Tyrion and Jaime both go to the main hall and lit a fire. They talk about their past together and bring up some fun memories. Grey Worm is readying himself for battle in his room and he is visited by Missandei. They have a romantic conversation in which they talk about their future together in an effort to clear their heads. In the main hall, Jaime and Tyrion are joined by Davos, Theon, Tormund, Brienne and Podrick. They all start to drink wine and they have a fun group conversation. Tormund tries to act tough in front of Theon and drinks his entire horn empty in one go. But Theon counters this by also drinking his wine in one go, in a reference to when Yara forced him to drink the ale as fast as possible. Tyrion then tries to give a pep talk and mentions that nearly all of them are great warriors. It's brought up also that Brienne, however, isn't a knight, since women can't be made knights. Jaime wants to disprove this. He calls Brienne out and officially knights her in front of the rest. Everyone starts to clap as Brienne turns emotional and shows gratitude towards Jaime. Bronn readies himself outside, as the Dothraki, Unsullied and a lot of the other soldiers are also getting ready. He is visited by the Hound, with who he settles their differences, and they wish each other good fortune. In the main hall, everyone starts to get more anxious. Tyrion suggests that someone should sing a song to lighten the mood. In response, Podrick starts to sing Jenny of Oldstones. As he sings, we see a montage of all our characters who enjoy their final moments. Jon and Daenerys hug each other in their room. Sam lies with Gilly and little Sam. Grey Worm leaves with his troops before kissing Missandei a final time. Arya and Gendry hold each other tight in their arms, and all of the troops are going to their battle positions. As Jon and Daenerys are also talking about their future to clear their heads, suddenly the horns sound. Jon and Daenerys go to the castle walls where Davos already stands. Everyone is summoned to get ready as fast as possible. Jon wishes Davos good fortune before he and Daenerys go to Drogon and Rhaegal. On the horizon, the entire army of the dead appears, as they are ready to attack Winterfell. Alright, that was episode 8, Farewell. It's a very long episode. Not that much happens. It's one of the more slow-paced episodes. That being said, it's one with a lot of meaning, because this episode, as the title hints, this episode pretty much is the farewell to a lot of our favorite characters. This episode is extremely similar to episode 2 of season 8 that we actually got, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. That episode also was mainly our characters just enjoying, their final moments, and this episode is very similar to that, although this episode is more drawn out. We got more little moments with our characters in this episode. Yeah, pretty much everyone has gathered in Winterfell. The battle strategy has been completed. The strategy that they do is sort of similar. They again place Bran in the God's Woods to try and lure the Night King. This time it's actually Jaime who's going to defend him, not Theon. Theon is in command of the troops of the right flank, I think, of Winterfell. Grey Worm is in command of the center. Brienne is in command of the left flank that guards Winterfell. Bronn is in command of the retreat, mainly of the gates. Everyone else is just, standing there. Daenerys and Jon, once again, are also going to their dragons to provide air support. So that's the entire strategy. The episode ends exactly the same way as episode 2 of the actual season 8 that we got ends, The army of the dead arrives on the horizon, and the Battle of Winterfell is about to begin. Alright guys, that was episode 8, farewell. I hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for the next episode, episode 9. Thank you.